Thanks for joining us for another Tantrum House crowdfunding conniption. Today we'll be looking at Ecosfera, which is coming to Kickstarter soon.
Now, as always, we want to make sure you're aware that our crowdfunded videos are sponsored in part by our own Kickstarter backers, as well as by the creators of this game. Thanks for joining us at Tantrum House Studio 3. I'm Will Meadows.
And I'm Sara Meadows. Today we're looking at Ecosfera from Julibert Games. It's from designer Julia Johansson and Albert Panilla, and art is from Albert as well.
Julibert, I got it. This is a 1 to 4 player cooperative deck building game where players are trying to restore nature before it's too late. Players will be starting with element cards, working their way up to plants and then to animal cards in order to achieve 7 different biomes and win the game. Now we're going to be looking at a prototype version of the game today, but let's jump in and we'll explain how it's played because we want to give you an idea of what to look for on Kickstarter.
To set up the game, you'll place out the stacks of element cards based on your difficulty level.
You'll shuffle the decks of animal and plant cards and reveal 4 cards in each row.
You'll set the biome and extinction tiles nearby.
Then, players will each take their 3 ability tokens and collect a hand of cards that consist of 1 of each element card along with 2 disaster cards.
They will shuffle and reveal their top 4 cards, and then you're ready to begin.
On their turn, players will be attempting to add new cards to their deck by using matching symbols. If a player has all of the necessary icons, they discard the spent cards and can immediately add the new card to their line of cards.
When growing plants, if a player is short a single icon, they can actually gain the plant card plus the missing element card. This is the primary way to gain new element cards in the game.
Players can take as many actions on their turn as they can afford. So for example, on my turn, I might use the Sun and Rain element cards to purchase the Boletus Edilis mushroom card, which gets added to my line immediately. And then, because my mushroom card has at least 1 biome icon in common with the stone pine tree, I could spend them to gain any single animal card that also shares that biome. In this case, I could gain the brown bear. Now in this rare occasion, because the stone pine tree has a mushroom icon on it, I could actually instead gain a biome tile. Normally, I would have to use 2 matching animal icons to gain a biome.
Throughout the course of the game, players will be trying to upgrade their hand of cards in order to gain all 7 biome tiles and win.
Now, of course, this isn't just a puzzle game that you can solve over a matter of time, because every time that a player is unable to gain a new card on their turn, they do have to take a disaster card.
Yeah, and these cards not only water down your entire deck, but anytime that 3 disaster cards are revealed on your turn, you have to take an extinction tile.
And if all 7 extinction tiles are revealed before all 7 biome cards, then the game is over and you all lose.
Yeah. The rule set for Ecosfera features a couple of different difficulty levels where fewer element cards are added to the deck and there's more disaster cards that come out more often.
So the better you get at the game, the more you can ramp up that difficulty. One of the interesting parts of the game is that you are working together as a team and you can see all the other cards that are visible on the table in front of all the other players, so you know what's going on your turn plus potentially their turn.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it yet, but your ability tokens can be spent on your turn to do things like refresh a row of cards or draw an extra card from your deck, or you can allow it to place one of your cards into another player's line or back into the deck.
Yeah, and that ability kind of lets you thin your deck as well as, because later in the game you're going to want fewer of those element cards in front of you. You're going to want
you're trying to get the animals,
those plants and everything else, because it is a deck building game.
Yeah, you can't ever discard the disaster cards, so you are stuck with those. But being able to add cards to other players' decks will help them not fail on their turn or potentially get the matching biome symbol that you need, because you have to get all 7 biomes.
As we mentioned before, this is a prototype, so obviously all the art that we're looking at is not finished in the game yet. I think they're still working on finessing those levels of difficulty a little bit as well. But if you enjoy games like Splendor or Century Spice Road, and you enjoy cooperative games where you can work together to achieve your missions, then you should definitely check out their Kickstarter campaign to see all that is included in the final version of the game.
And as always, let us know what you think about the game in the comments. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.